Hello everyone, welcome back to Book Club Preview. Today we're looking at The Maze Runner, chapter 34. Now, in this chapter, it starts with a really weird morning. I mean, it seems like every day something weird is going on. Maybe the only day that's different was when Thomas was in jail. Or that was kind of normal, I guess. But Thomas wakes up and, what the? The stars are gone? The sun is gone? Clouds are gone? Everything looks really weird. In fact, the sky just looks like a big slate of gray. It just looks like a big patch of gray, which Chuck describes later as a big gray ceiling. And Thomas is like, a ceiling? Yeah. And it's really, really weird. Thomas looks at his watch and he's overslept an hour. He slept in an hour and the sun's still not here. Something is going on. He goes out and he starts to talk. He sees everyone, and all of the other gladers are kind of looking around like, oh, what's going on? Oh, what is it? And they're kind of in a panic, running around. And Thomas finds Chuck, and Chuck is like, what do you think is happening? And Thomas is like, I don't know. It seems like something's broken. Thomas, despite the natural reaction to be afraid and to be freaking out, Thomas is still thoughtful and logical, and he's like, okay, well, it couldn't be the sun. There must be some kind of trick or illusion that's going on. And so he tells Chuck, something's probably broken. And then Chuck talks about how it looks like they're looking at a ceiling. Well, Minho runs up to Thomas and is like, hey, what are you doing? We gotta go. And they're like, Thomas like, what? We're still gonna go running? Well, actually, Chuck asked that. Thomas doesn't have to. Chuck asked that, and Minho's like, yep, we still got a job to do. They eat a quick breakfast and they run out. And they just about ready to run over the first corner when Minho stops and pulls Thomas back. There's a griever right around the corner. They peek over. Oh man, it looks like one of the dead ones that Minho saw before. Thomas is like, what are we gonna do? Like, well, we have to keep going. Minho looks back. It's gone. Come on. And he starts following the griever. And he just sees the back of it after every corner. And they follow the griever for about 10 minutes until it's next to the point where that cliff is. And then the griever just runs at full speed whoosh, right off the cliff into shadow and darkness. And Thomas and Minho are like, oh, what just happened? I really wanted to read the next chapter, but this chapter is pretty short, and that's where it ends. Vocabulary. The first vocabulary word here is mandatory. Mandatory means must, necessity, requirement. So he is required to wake up at a certain time. It's mandatory, right? They make everyone wake up and start working. Commotion is kind of like chaos, but with action. Okay, there's people doing a bunch of stuff and people going different ways and chaos and things aren't in order. There is commotion and all the gladers are walking around, bonking around. Gone bonkers, this is an expression meaning someone has gone crazy. We usually use like a go verb. I'm going bonkers. He went bonkers. I've gone bonkers. Something like that. Bonkers just means crazy. Bonk, 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 bonk. Like you're hitting yourself on the head. And the last vocabulary word is deliberation. And deliberate means to do something with purpose or with intention. Deliberation is to kind of think about something actively, right? You are choosing to look at this task or this question or this problem or this puzzle or this maze, and you're really putting it in your mind, deliberately thinking about it. Deliberation. Discussion question: where do you think the griever went? Where did the griever go? Oh, okay. Where did the griever go? It ran off the cliff. Did it commit suicide? Did it fly? I don't know. Can grievers fly? What do you think happened to the griever when it... And in the next chapter, I'm pretty sure that we're going to find... Well, I don't know if we'll find out exactly what, but it sounds like Minho and Thomas are going to go investigate. I have to admit, I did look at like the first line of the next chapter. I couldn't stop. I just had to like peek the first sentence of the next paragraph. And it seems like they're going to explore. So we might find out what happens. But what do you think happened? And why do you think the griever did it? I mean, there's a whole bunch of different reasons I can think about, different scenarios going on. But what do you think? Also, please write down your own discussion question. And there's so many to ask about this chapter. That's all the time that we have for today. But thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.